Hey, welcome back aboard Glacier Guides. We're grateful for this opportunity to show you a film we did probably in the early 2000s, back when Mutts' mom and dad were in charge and operating. So it's 20-something years old. It's called Hunting Alaska's Coastal Giants, and want to preserve it for future generations. So we're putting it forward out on YouTube, and we hope that you guys like and subscribe to our channel. And thank you very much. Stay tuned. Here it comes.
Hi, Jim Rosenbruch, Glacier Guides. What you're about to see is some pretty great footage, filmed both in the spring and the fall, of some taking of some monster black bear and some huge brown bear. This is our 40th consecutive year guiding and outfitting in Southeast Alaska. Sit back and enjoy the video. We enhance our operation with some diversity with the float plane. We'll never know exactly where we're going to be, and we're many, many hours from town, so we reduce your travel time and increase your hunting time by using air float plane service to get you out to us. You never know just where we're going to be, but we have constant satellite contact with the air charter company, and airplane drives it up right up to the back of the boat, and we offload you and continue on with our hunt. Sometimes we'll hunt the estuaries. If we get a low tide in the evening, that can be a pretty effective way. That's the interface between the sea and the river where it comes in, and just sitting there concealed, watching to see if a bear move around works out pretty good. These bear are not easy to stalk. They got eye, they can see, as counter to popular belief, they can see as well as a man. They got ears like a whitetail, and they got a nose only like a bear has. They can hear. I'll tell you what, if you make one sound when you hunt in the evenings, there is not a sound of anything. If as you're mousing along, if you make a single sound, you're toast. You got to march along and avoid all this shells, popweed, barnacles, mud. Not easy to do, but it works.
All right, John, you got your hunt license?
Got it.
Excellent. Gun, bullets,
ready to
we're
go.
set. Let's do it. May as well face forward so you can see where we're going.
Okay.
Okay.
Now that you're there you go. Excellent. Figure out which line's ours. We're out of here.
Not even an hour's passed since we left the Grandeur, and already Bud and his clients have spotted two very nice bear. One of them is particularly worthy of taking a closer look at.
like we've got a good wind, so don't have to worry about that, fortunately. Well, let's just ease away along the shoreline here, see if we can get in a good position.
Okay.
This bear hunting is not an exact science. Most animals we got horns or antlers to look at, and these guys are strictly body proportions. Skin quality is another issue, and you can see evidence of a little bit of rub on the back of this bear. But main criteria is just the body proportions. You can determine the age of the bear, position of his ears. There's a host of things you look at to decide. It's not easy. You don't always get it right, but you usually tell in about 4 or 5 inches of what it will square. You give your best guess to the client, and he decides whether he wants to pull the trigger or not. One discussion we have before we go in the field is this issue of guides following up on or shooting on a wounded bear. State law clearly requires that the guide use whatever legal means he has to attempt to dispatch the bear. It is not difficult to hit a standing bear at 100 yards. Proper shot placement sometimes doesn't happen, however. So the guide has milliseconds to determine whether that bear is wounded from an improper shot or not. If it has been, in our judgment, we'll shoot. We'd like not to, but we're relying on the hunter to do what he can. If that doesn't happen, we have no choice.
Good Jill, John. Looks like the bear's got around a little bit further, so we can get a little closer and get a better shot. Okay. Let's go ahead and move up. What a thrill.
Yeah, what a thrill.
Jeez.
That's called catch and release.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's see if we can find a better bear.
Yeah, that was a thrill.
That was
That
neat.
makes the hunt worthwhile.
Yes, it does.
Catch and release.
You got it. That's fun. Make you a little nervous walking towards you, but hey.
Yeah. Wonder if we can get a fiberglass model of it.
There you go. Oh.
Well, when people talk about what a bear squares, there's two measurements that you need to be aware of. The first is you take the nose to tail measurement, add that to the front claw to front claw measurement, and divide by 2. That gives you the average. So an 8-foot black bear would be roughly 7.5 feet from nose to tail and 8.5 feet from claw to claw. The second measurement that's spoken about often is the skull size, and that is taken once the skull is completely removed from the hide. All of the meat is removed, so you just have the bone structure. And then that measurement consists of the length plus the width, the widest width and the longest length. And that's how you get the two measurements for a bear.
Here we are in search of black bear with David McGiffert. We're watching an estuary, waiting for the winds to change. This can be a very, very productive way to hunt bear. Springtime in Alaska is just amazing. Flowers are everywhere and the world around is just alive with wildlife. bald eagles, harbor seal, sea otter, land otter, mink, marten, just amazing. Now, all of this going on around us, and yet there's Dad just snoring away. Eventually, a huge black bear emerges from the forest, which means no more napping for Dad. Come on, let's go.
That's a very good bear. Good. Dave. Good. We've been spending a little time after this thing. Third time ought to be the charm.
Good.
He's traveling though. We're gonna have to get sparked up and get around there and see if we can head him off. Let's get after it.
Okay.
This bear is just too far away for a shot. He's across the estuary, tides up a little bit. Our only chance to get him is going to be to circle around the estuary. No way to wade across directly to him with the mud and the water height. He's in the rut right now, on the move, so hopefully we can get ahead of him and have him intercept us.
All of our guys use Remington 700s, mostly in 416 Rem Mag or 458. And that's why we recommend the bigger the caliber, the better. We suggest you use the biggest caliber that you can shoot well, 375 minimum. Here we are next morning, gonna go and skin this bear. We, late last night, got dark on us, had to leave it. Huge bear, did great, got in there and got it set up. 60-yard shot across the river, and we're fixing to head in there and get him shucked out and get the skin.
Had a pretty great stalk last night. Spent a couple hours with him. We were sitting on a point down at the mouth of the estuary here. The bears are rutting this time of year, and he was making his daily rounds. Saw him on the far side of the estuary and had to try and intercept him. When they're traveling, you can't keep up with them, so you have to have them walk to you. Had one doable shot, but not great. So we figured out where we thought he might come and intercepted him. He walked back behind a line of trees and came back out, and we were able to meet up with him. And Dave made a great offhand shot. We did not have a lot of time. He was definitely on to us, but he didn't go far. Back in there 30 yards, and we'll go.
Did good. Let's go check him out. Okay, cool.
Up.
We'll get flat in the face here, Dave. Okay.
Well, congratulations, Dave. It's an awesome bear. Really nice.
Very well done, my friend. We enjoy you being with us.
Well, I've enjoyed it. Sure,
We did
certainly
good.
have. My third trip back, but it was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Was
was.
it
We took a big brown bear with you on the first trip in the fall, and then we came back for black bear a couple of years ago and an early spring hunt and had a little snafu, and didn't work out exactly like we hoped, and we did it up royally this trip here.
How big is he gonna go, Mutts?
He'll square over 8 feet. It's an older bear. He's got a lot of scars on him, and big bear.
Pretty.
You know, these
Yes.
days there's lots of folks have the biggest black bear around, and I will say this, that if you look at the current record book, if you use that as an indicator as opposed to what people say, the current edition of the Safari Club International Record Book has listed in that we have approximately 50% of all the black bear ever taken from Alaska listed under the record book that we've taken. In addition to that, Alaska Professional Hunters and Safari Club International has a joint awards program, an annual event, and we've taken every first and every second and every third place, with the exception of a year or two that we didn't take one place within that. So we've got good genetics here, we've got great bear, and we enjoy hunting them. When these bear come out in mid-April, it's pretty slim pickings for them. All they've got to eat is beach sedge, and as this grass matures on the beach, and it's usually pretty open. The high tides we have keep the snow melted, and so early on it starts greening up. They also will get at low tides and get these little crabs and such under the rocks, but it's pretty Spartan for them. They just maintain themselves until such time as the fish come in mid-July. And they'll move from the tidal areas in late May, early June, mid-June, depending on the weather of the year, into the higher Alpine, and then feed on just succulent new vegetation. Mid-July, the dinner plates hit. Then these salmon start coming in the freshwater system, so they have access to them. And that unlimited source of protein in the form of salmon is why we have the number of bear and the size we do. That's what makes brown bear the size they are over grizzly bear. And that's what makes our black bear what they are. They occasionally get a little, I suppose, tired of eating fish, and they'll go up into the berries, or if the creeks flood, then that forces them out of the creeks, and they'll go up later in the season when you get into late September and October and the water gets high and the fish sort of peter out. Then they'll go into the berries and the Alpine, and again kind of top things off with vegetation. But they, again, we have the unique thing in this temperate rainforest of this unlimited fish supply, and that is why we have the stellar bear population size that we do. Well, listen, we're going to go over in here. There's this stellar place for black bear, this area in here. We've had to wait till the tide got a little bit lower. As we talked about, we get a 25-foot tide difference about every 6 hours, so we're now at about half ebb, and we're going to go in this estuary during the ebb, and been a little bit of activity in there. Have you been in there and seen a few good ones, how many months?
A few bear moving around. They come down to catch fish and everything. It's cool.
Fantastic.
So we'll shoot the first one over 8 feet we see. That'll work
I'll
for
take
us.
even 2 feet, it's okay?
No, listen, we're going to go for the good stuff. So.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll just kind of wander over here then. Okay.
Betty Weintraub is an amazing woman. She's 78 years old, not 5 foot tall, not even 100 pounds, and yet here she is hunting black bear with her 375 H&H. Betty only started hunting 5 years ago, and already she's completed her Big 5 in Africa. Never believe it if anyone tells you you're too old to hunt.
Well, we're just getting dropped off at the high tide, gonna go a bit, sitting out on this river. There's been some bear feeding. Had one 8 feet from us last night, so we'll see if we can find him again. See what comes out.
Our ride dropped us off upriver, and we proceeded to hike up into a spot where several bears have been seen fishing recently. Before long, a beautiful black bear showed up. He's busy feeding on salmon and totally unaware of our presence.
Up on it. It's a good bear. I mean, she can't see it. We gotta move her. It's a good bear. We need to kill it. Can you see it there? It's a good
At first, Betty can't see the bear from her vantage point due to the trees directly in front of her. But we quickly move up to set up for a shot, and about the time Betty's ready to shoot, the bear slips off into the thick cover of the forest. Amazingly enough, later in the evening, another bear showed up in the same place. This time, Betty is determined not to let this one get away.
Miss Betty, it's a great bear. We're impressed with your tenacity and attitude to be able to do this. You've had quite a few years of living, and if we're all as capable as you are, when we get to that age, we'll be grateful. We got Mutts, my daughter, and her husband Zach, who were with you last night. You and I and Mutts were together the night before. We had one come right up to us and couldn't get set up for it. And last night, I understand there was a couple of others came out, and you couldn't get quite organized, and you end up with this one, and this is the one you're supposed to get. That worked perfect.
Well, it was, again, thanks to you and Mutts and Zach. Without them, it would not have been possible.
I would say you don't owe me any thanks, but Mutts and Zach.
No, you all. It's an attitude that
Yeah, this is true.
really makes it win or lose. You can't lose.
Yes, this is true. Yes. Well, we appreciate you and your husband coming with us, you and Alan coming with us. You're great people, and we've enjoyed having you. And we got more to go.
Absolutely.
We should get a little more footage before we get done here. This would be cool.
Thank you again.
Pleasure. Our pleasure, very much.
Thanks.
What you've just seen is a prime example of the necessity of having good optics on a hunting trip. We use these Swarovski rifle scopes with 30mm tubes, and they allow us, in very low light conditions, oftentimes not even seen with our naked eye, to effectively hunt and harvest these bear. Oftentimes, hunters will show up and they'll not have these quality optics, and these bear frequently move around in low light conditions, and they'll miss the opportunity. As a case in point is that this camera lens, if we'd have had Swarovski optics in that thing, we'd have been able to show you 2 or 3 additional bear killed on this hunt. You can see from this sequence that we get up to a 25-foot tide difference, vertical rise or fall in the tide in 6 hours during a full moon phase. And you can also see the weather varies a little bit. This covered about a 13-hour time phase. We had a little sunshine, a little rain, a little bit of wind. Pretty awesome country.
Alan is Betty's husband, and he is now hunting brown bear. We've relocated the Grandeur to a different island for brown bear hunting, and today is the 5th day of Alan's hunt. We've seen several bear, but have been, for one reason or another, unable to harvest one yet. Today we have a particular bear in mind. This bear's come out on shore in the same place for the last 2 evenings that we've seen him, and last night we got close to him, but the light faded on us just a little too soon for the shot. If all goes well, and this bear sticks to his pattern, and he'll show himself tonight. As we approach the area that this bear has been hanging out in, we discover he's already out on the shore. Luckily, he has his back turned to us, and we're able to approach and quickly set up on a rock for a good shot at him. Great job, Alan, on a beautiful bear.
I would like to welcome you aboard the Alaskan Grandeur. We'll give you a little tour of the boat, kind of show you where your home's going to be the next 10 days for a hunt aboard with us. Well, we've got on the back deck here, call this the cockpit. This is all closed. This is a great place. We have a little crab feed out here occasionally. By the way, we got this for our live tank, and we get it full of crabs sometimes. Have a nice crab feed. We usually do our outside gear out here, hip boots, rain gear, that sort of stuff. If we get stuff wet, we've got these lockers designed to dry with. They circulate heated engine room through there. We can dry off clothes, keep things warm. In any case, we keep all our gear out here, have a little social hour out here occasionally, and it works out pretty good for us. Let's head on into the main deck. Well, that's the main deck here. We've got it designed to where we got all one level on the main deck. We got 24 foot of beam. This settee was all custom made in Italy. Had this whale's tail coffee table flown up from Mexico City. We're kind of like whales. That's kind of our theme aboard as whales. Got a nice sculpture right there. We've got a little DVD, VCR, flat screen system here. We can have a look at your filming if you do a little filming during the day. Our table seats 10, so we serve the meals here, have any social events in on the couch right here. As you come on in toward the galley here, we've got an ice maker here, got ice 24/7. We keep in here. We got drinks, mixer, all that sort of stuff underneath the wet bar right here. This is got a galley organized here, got electric stove, oil stove, constant heat going. We always have hot coffee, hot water for tea, drinks, etc. aboard the vessel while we're aboard. For accommodation, we've got 4 full queen suites. Let's go and have a look, see what they look like inside here. This is typical of what we got for our suites. These make together, pushed together to where we got a queen, or we've got 2 full twins, as we can see right there. We've got, every room has its own, we got private cedar lined lockers, all lit up, plenty of drawers for storage, etc. Nice view outside. You get outside, see the whole world. In the head here, we got shower, toilets. We got our own water maker aboard, and we flush our toilets with distilled water, which is pretty nice. Hot, cold to drink. Got ventilators on the top, plenty of storage in here. We got, every room's got its own private satellite phone, so you got a secure satellite, tracks on a computer. You can make a call anywhere on the planet, anytime. Okay, this is where we keep our rifles right here. We've got a little built-in rifle rack. Let's continue on downstairs. We'll have a look downstairs. We've got a couple of queen suites, and have a look at the crew quarters, and a little peek in the engine room. Well, we're one deck down now. Then we got the honeymoon suite. Same as up above. We're down the lower deck. Same thing. We've got a private satellite phone, lockers, hanging drawers, private bath in here, full bath in here. Nice, great place to rest up a little bit. Well, we're kind of in the heart of the old ship here now. We've got generators port and starboard. We've got a 40 kW over here, and actually got a hydraulic system for secondary propulsion to drive the main gear. This is a 20 kW we got here. Then we've got our cat engine's kind of interesting. It's governed at 1350 RPM, so there's only 400 RPM difference between what we cruise at and what we idle at. We cruise at about 1,000 RPMs. Turn a 5-inch shaft on a 6.5 foot diameter wheel at 200 RPM with the 5-to-1 gear reduction. Pretty efficient way to operate. Well, we're back in the mechanical room. We've got an inverter system that we use for converting battery power to AC power to run our refrigeration and pumps during the daytime when the generator's not on. Got a big cooling and heating system. We desalinate seawater, so we've got a big system here. Keep us in fresh water. We were set up to stay at sea for as long as, actually we stay at sea sometimes 90 days at a time without taking on any stores or water or fuel. Like running a small city. You have your own utility company, power, water, sewage treatment, fuel. Pretty complex system. Well, we're been up on the main deck, lower deck. Let's have a look up topside, see what we got up here. Now on the boat deck, proceeding for the pilot house. This is the captain's quarters, and we're going to the pilot house. We got all the good stuff in here. We've got an old paper chart out there, but normally we've got a satellite navigation system that actually plots us relative to any place on the planet with detailed charts. Got a couple of radars, a couple of GPSs. We've got all sort of weather equipment here, a couple of VHF radios. This is a sonar system that is forward scanning and side scanning below water sonar. This is our camera, monitors 4 quad screens when they're underway. Hydraulic stabilizers, and just all the monitors for all the engine equipment. We got the satellite. We actually got 2 satellite systems. One we have through all the cabins, and a separate one we have for on up here. Let's go on outside and have a look. This access this guest space out here as well. We've got the boat deck here. We've got a 24-foot sport fisher we carry aboard. In the summers we do sport fishing, and this is used for halibut fishing and salmon trolling. On the other side we carry 4 16-foot luns with outboard motors, and then in the summer we carry 4 18-foot sea kayaks we go up to the glaciers with. We've got a big hydraulic crane here to lift these boats on and off with, extra freezer space, storage space, etc. up here. This goes out, let's go up on the fly bridge now. This is pretty cool up here. You can really see up here. Well, we're up 4 decks up on the fly bridge. You can sit here in the daytime and you can see bear occasionally walking around out here. It's a great place to sit when we're underway. This windscreen creates a wind shear, and you can have a pretty stiff breeze and not get your hair blown off sitting up here while we're traveling. Well, we got our foghorn right here. This is our windlass. We've got 1,300 foot of cable on this thing, a quarter mile. Some of the places we anchor a little bit deep. We've kind of made the boat tour now. Tell you what, let's do. Go do what we came for. Let's go do a little hunting. Appreciate you having you with us.
One of the first things we do when clients arrive into the field is go out and find a good solid log to set up and check the gun zero. There's enough things that can go wrong in a hunt that you don't need to worry about whether your scope's on or not. Transit is often pretty hard on them, and want to make definite sure that it's not been bumped. For the Burdakis at this time, it's not a problem. They're dialed in and shooting great. Occasionally, rather than hunting the salmon streams during the fall, we travel up into the high Alpine and look for black bear that are feeding on fall berries. This type of hunting requires 2 basic things: patience and good optics. We recommend Swarovski scopes and binoculars to all our clients. Very often we harvest bears in extremely low light, and without the best optics, hunters are often forced to quit right when the hunting gets good. Hunting the Alpine is a spot and stock affair, spending a lot of time behind binoculars, glassing very, very closely for bear. The brush is thick and the bear are down feeding on berries, so they only show themselves quite briefly. Once we have a good bear in sight, we decide what'll be the best way to stalk it and get into shooting range. We always like to get within 100 yards, so not always possible, but we do the best we can. We spotted a good bear with Jim, but our only chance is for him to take a 150-yard shot across the canyon. If we get any closer, we'll be too low, lose sight of the bear, and this canyon shot is pushing the limits of Jim's 458, but he has the confidence that only comes with a lot of practice on the shooting range. Great job, Jim. All that practice has paid off with an excellent trophy.
One of the great fringe benefits of hunting in southeast Alaska is a wide variety of fresh seafood. Often we're able to enjoy fresh salmon, fresh halibut, clams, and of course a few crabs. Right now, Bud's pulling a few pots so we can have a big feast of Dungeness crab for dinner time. That's one half the crab. We're gonna have a big feed. That takes a skill to do that, Rex. You know that, don't you?
Practice. I think that you get. I think there'll be a black bear tomorrow night.
I think it's
A big one.
Should be good after this rain. Once again, we're back in the Alpine hunting black bear. We spotted a good bear, but he seems to be playing the normal game of hide and seek with us in this dense undergrowth. We've hunted the creeks a good bit. There's lots of bear down there, but we thought we'd take a look up here, and there's usually a few bear up in these higher cuts in the berries. This demonstrates an area that's about lost its useful habitat for bear. The conifers are about ready to shade it out. It was cut about 8 years ago, and by 10 years or such, it remains unsuitable for bear habitat for a very long time. But it takes a while to get a good look at a bear. If you got a good pair of these Swarovski 1042s, that helps a lot. But you got to study this bear a long time to determine what it is. And usually about the time you get it figured out, it moves again. But with a little bit of patience, the hunter gets a chance to deck it. And again, pays to have a Swarovski scope. You got something with clear optics and shooting pretty low light conditions. We've been able to watch this bear long enough to determine he's a good one. All we need now is to wait for a clear window.
Congratulations, Roger. It's a
Thank
great
you.
bear. About 7.5 foot. It's an older bear. Been around a while. They get pretty smart. Just gorgeous hair, though, as you can see. You do a magnificent live mount. It's a beautiful bear. But tell us a little bit about the hunt.
Well, Jimmy first spotted it a couple hundred yards down the way, and we had to hike uphill to get to this kind of clear cut. and it was in some really thick brush. And we marched around it. We went down the hill, up the hill, and it was really hiding in there, trying to get it. We'd see it about 2 or 3 times. And finally, we took a position where I took a seating position, and Jimmy and you were looking at it, and I was waiting for the go-ahead to try and get a shot. And you said, I'm going to try and size up the bear, and I'm going to go like this if it's okay, that if to let it go. And I was looking over there, and then all of a sudden you went like that, so it was a go. I couldn't get a very good shot to begin with, and I don't know, it seemed like a long time, but probably wasn't that long. And I remember Jimmy talking about, if you get a window, take it. So finally I saw its heads, visualized the shoulders through the brush, and shot down through it. And I thought I made a good shot, and I saw the brush move, and pretty soon it was down there, and well, the rest of it, you went down there and found it. So I'm really glad to have gotten that trophy. Appreciate it very much for your hard work.
You did good. I was impressed. It's not too easy with these things in that brush. Now you see them, now you don't, and you get a little window. And actually, we spent about 30 minutes fussing around with this.
Was it 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it kind of went quickly, but it would show we was back and forth and the feeding. I never knew we were there, but
right.
When the window came, you did it. You did a good job. Congrats. You did a great job. I enjoyed hunting with you a lot.
That's
good man.
great fun.
From mid-July on, when the salmon start running in southeast Alaska, you'll find the bears in the river. However, it's not easy to get them. They're very sensitive to smell, sight, and sound, and if the wind's bad in any way at all, you just toast the drainage. We have what we call the half rule under the most favorable circumstances. The first night you go in there, for example, you see 12, the next night 6, next night 3, the last night you see 1, you're going to be lucky.
Well, we're standing in the creek right here. I was in a blind about 150 yards away. The big chocolate brown came out. I had time. You can see right now we're standing right at the spot. You can't see it in the camera, but right over here in the bank, and he was kind of quartering away from me. I tried to put a shot right behind his shoulder. Shot, the bear whirled. We're now trying to check it out and see what's happened here. Obviously, this is a very anxious moment for me.
Great bear, Roger. As we could see from the replay and watching it last night, we were able to sit there on the creek bank and have this bear walk out to us and catch a couple of fish and come back out again for a shot, and we were able to make a shot, a little back, but we were able to recover him today. And great bear.
Well, thanks, Zach. It was a sleepless night. I was really worried. I wasn't as confident as I should be. I thought I made a pretty good shot, and I guess it was a little further back than I thought. But coming out here today, I just wasn't really as optimistic as I wish I was. It just seemed like this forest, we're in a rainforest, and it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. But I just owe it to you and your compadres here. It was just a great job. Thanks so much. This is really a memory. You don't know how many years I've wanted to get one of these, and I'd have been sick if I went home without this thing. Thanks so very, very much.
Well, good job.
Thank you.
Scott, listen, we got the right gear, going lean and mean.
I think so. Yeah, I'm ready.
We was in here last night. What's the good last night? That cold wind, and it was overcast and high humidity, and just what the deer that been out didn't see any deer, not much bear. Tonight's just perfect conditions now. But if we don't, you got to make a choice. Shoot one tonight, or we go over these snow-capped peaks the next bay down. So.
Well, if we don't get one tonight, I'll go over the peaks.
You'll go over the peaks. We're not going on foot, you understand. This will be a boat trip around there, so
whatever it takes.
Works.
Whatever
Okay.
works.
All right, cool. This is a great spot in here. Love to sit. We have been leaving here for 2 hours or so. You know, wait till the wind kind of switches around a little bit. Yeah. I'd rather sit here and watch it on the boat and watch, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. We'll just go do it.
All right,
Okay,
here we
cool.
go.
This is the sedge, what the bears like to eat. That's what they survive on for 6 months of the year. Grows down in the tide flat, and the water comes up over it twice a day, so it gets a fine layer of salt on it. That's what they favor.
You ready?
Uh-huh. Good.
Not bad.
It doesn't taste
It's really
gross.
not bad.
Yeah, no. That's all you had. You could
Take
probably
a bite,
buy a
Mike.
taste for it, right?
If I were stranded here, I could probably eat it.
Yeah, believe it.
Good.
Early in the afternoon, waiting on the wind to switch, 2 bears show up nearby.
Okay, I'll hold here. I'll stay right here. Go see what those are. Might be a shooter.
The best is yet to go.
I've been fortunate enough over the past 35 years to take a great number of big game hunts in different countries. I've hunted about 260 species throughout the world, and I can tell you that after 40 years of hunting these big coastal bears, there's nothing as exciting as what we're doing here today. And it's not just about hunting them either. You get just as big of thrill, absolutely in every way, just by watching them. Being in their habitat with them, watching how they behave, is an indescribable experience. It's something you have to experience for yourself before you can really appreciate it.
The rut right now is in full swing, and by the way, these two appear to be acting and interacting with each other. They are apparently somewhat romantically involved. Brown bear are just really amazing creatures. They, being solitary most of their lives, it's very interesting to watch their interaction as they come together in May and June during the breeding season to mate. Have an interesting biological feature in that when they do breed in May and June, the fertilized egg does not take until September or October, when the female determines whether or not she's in good enough body condition to support a cub throughout the winter. This delayed implantation allows her to either grow the fertilized egg or abort, depending on her body condition. Cubs are born in February and March and are 15 to 20 pounds when they emerge from the den in April or May. Boars are very aggressive with cubs and will oftentimes kill a cub in order to bring a sow back into estrus for breeding. Females are very fiercely protective of their young, and interaction between boars and sows typically is aggressive, but interesting to watch during the mating season.
Well, that's pretty cool. We got right up on those two, the boar and sow.
It was awesome. We were right there, 30 yards.
Here meeting.
You could.
A little bit young. The boar was rubbed. The sow had very good hair. Of course, we didn't want to shoot her, and the boar was a little too young, so we'll keep hunting.
Keep looking. It's cool anyways.
Well, now our plans are to hunt a meadow area upstream, but our plans soon changed when we spotted another bear.
Okay, that's that same bear that we saw coming in.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get to that point before he does, he's traveling twice our speed and he's got half the distance.
Yeah, he's got the blitz on. He's following that
So we're
sow.
going to have to really get it on.
I'll follow
There's
you.
zero possibility of pulling this thing off.
I'll follow
Let's
you.
do it.
Due to the fact that he's traveling quite quickly during the rut here, the only chance we have to get at this bear is at a point half a mile upstream where it's narrow enough to intercept him as he goes by on the other side. The trick is getting there before the bear does and without him seeing us.
stay on him. All split up, we'll walk up to the bank. We'll just walk up to the river bank and make sure it's put it down.
There is definitely a reason we wear hip boots while bear hunting in Alaska.
This has been the culmination of an absolutely wonderful hunt. This is the 5th day of the hunt. We've been in another bay up until this point, saw lots of bear there, just never had the opportunity to be in the position to take a nice specimen. The Rosenbruchs had an excellent idea to move. I thought that was very courageous because we could have definitely taken a bear there, but they said, no, let's move. We'll have a better chance of getting a big one somewhere else. We moved. We came in here. This was the second bear that we saw. The first one was absolutely a wonderful specimen. We just missed that one. And we've come, and then Mutts saw this one, and we hot-tailed it over just following her, and it's just a great specimen.
These bear are in the rut right now, so they're traveling quite quickly, and we had to just run to intercept him. But quite a long shot. We couldn't get a lot closer the way he was moving, and Scott made a great shot. The bear did not go anywhere, and beautiful animal, not missing a hair. These bears are not an exact science to judge. They're not like a lot of other animals. You have horns or antlers. So there's a lot of different aspects that you look at to judge. One of the most obvious of which, from a distance, would be the overall length of the body, length of the legs, mass in the chest and the belly. You can see him pretty clear as he was cruising. Boy, he's rutting. So he was covering some ground looking for girlfriends, rubbing on all the brush and all of that. But as they get closer then, it's an interesting thing to look at. A small bear will have ears right towards the top of its head. A big bear like this, they'll be out on the side, kind of like ours, kind of at 3 and 9. You can see the span on this. It takes 2 hand spans to get across there. So you just look at the overall mass, the length of the neck, back and the mass in the chest and belly. He's sure immaculate hair condition, just like he came out of the den. Hasn't rubbed a bit. It's absolutely
That's just nice. Wonderful.
We're off changing islands for black bear. We had a great hunt. We're a day ahead of schedule. We've killed 4 great brown bear. And we're off to see if the weather's holding really well. We're optimistic about killing some great black bear in the next few days.
What lesson are you going to give me tonight?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'll
mean,
think
it's like you
about
won't
it.
give it to me, or
No.
Oh, it's a great son, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's what you can't share a little with your father. You hearing this, Jimmy? You hearing this?
Later, we'll see.
He won't give me any pointers on how to shoot that bear tonight.
No,
Michael.
Listen, every man's to himself on this.
Ah, God.
This is absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, it would be a different story if we...
Once again, we're hunting spring black bear. We've relocated to a new island, and this afternoon we have perfect hunting conditions. Rain in the Pacific Northwest makes stalking much quieter and easier to get on the bears.
this bear across the river there, if we can just get rain keeps up a little bit for us, we can get across there, and it's not a very long shot. I think we can get set up, and he's kind of feeding out this way, and I see his head coming up and down a little bit, so we got to watch that, but we'll deck him.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
Let's go.
One important thing we have to do is get these bears anchored, and if we get into the woods, it's like searching for a needle in a haystack. They're tenacious, very hard to get down. That's why we have a minimum caliber of 375, and you can see from that they're not easy to put down and keep down.
The first one hit him. I don't know where. Yeah. See him rear up.
Well, Steve, congrats. Great bear on the second night out.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We hunted together last night and got on one, kind of a warm-up exercise, and moved camp today and saw 4 bear the first 30 minutes out of the chute. Got on this old warrior here and did your business well.
Yeah, we were lucky as we talked. The weather conditions weren't certainly in our favor to start with, but here he is. It must have been our day, I guess. What were you saying about the size and relationship to grizzlies and so on?
These black bear here on the islands have the genetics and the food source that allow them to get as big as the grizzlies. I mean, the interior grizzly, you know, has to range so far for food, they just don't get very big. And some of these black bear, you have to put on a grizzly for them when you do the taxidermy.
They certainly are a lot larger than what we're used to in Michigan, I'll tell you. Ours look like cubs as compared to these. So it's a wonderful bear, wonderful hunt, great guides. Thank you again, dear. It's
You're
wonderful.
very welcome. My
Very, very
pleasure.
nice.
We got Bud and Bowen after this bear, see if they can get a shot. This is not the first bear Bowen's gotten onto, but you got to remember, we don't kill every bear we see. There's just not enough time on this video to show you every bear that gets away. There's a reason that we try and get our clients up to within 100 yards before shooting. You can hit that bear at 300 yards, but the risking of losing it goes up exponentially with every yard that you are over. It's just not worth taking a necessary chance of wounding and losing it.
can I say? Bone and I just took too long to get to that bear. I guess there was a second bear that we didn't see, that the audience did see. We took our boots off and just didn't get there in time. So we're going to go across the way here and see if we can try the other two that we saw. It's mating season, so it's fun having the boar chasing these sow to help distract him so we can hopefully get closer. But that sow ran him off on us, so just didn't get there in time. Unfortunately, the sow didn't hold him on the beach for us. She wanted to go in the woods and do her business.
Made you take your boots off?
Well, that's kind of cool. Are you the skiff handler? No.
It was a lot easier because and these things would make all the noise and stuff.
This bear's going to work right to us. I think he's feeding right there and come right to us. We have to sit right there. It might take a little while. We'll just sit right there and feed that. Nail him, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. We got to remember no noise. One sound he's got. So we got to be stone silent. Okay, here we go.
Spotting a bear and getting to range is one thing, but having to sit and watch and wait for 30 minutes or more for a perfect shot can get make you a little bit nervous.
Just find me. You just sit right here. Just a second.
Come on.
You on safety?
Yeah.
Okay, just stay there on safety. Just wait right there. You okay right there?
Yeah.
Gun on safety.
Yeah. What'd I do?
Come on, Bo. Shot kill.
Great.
That's the man.
Yes, sir.
That's good. No fooling around.
Oh, I was getting a little
That
scared
was
there.
very good. He kind of stayed low. He wasn't very easy to get on right there.
Yes, sir.
No, he did good. Should we go up and see if we can drag him up a little bit so he looks like it? Very nice bear. Mr. Bowen, he did good, man.
Yes, sir.
That was a good shot. One shot kill. I
Yes,
appreciated
sir.
that. Yep, that was great. We, what it was there about 20 minutes, was it?
Oh, yes, sir. I was waiting. Felt like an hour.
It did seem like an hour.
Yes,
seem
sir.
like an hour. Bowen, I enjoyed hunting with you. You're a good guy.
Yes, sir. Hunting with the best.
That's a kind comment. I enjoyed a lot. You did good. This is the first big animal you're taking, is it?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's awesome. That's totally awesome.
Starting off on the right foot, though.
Yep, you did good.
It's a nice bear.
He's bigger than I thought he was. See,
I
we
know.
didn't ever get a good look at him. we from the water we did. Then we got in here and fussed around. We didn't. He's turned out great.
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations again. I again
All right.
enjoyed having you very
Yes,
much.
sir.
You're a good
Thanks
man.
a lot. Yes, sir.
Enjoyed having your family with us here.
All righty.